Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hoon Dok Hae. Today is Unsheel, and we're together with Reverend Arnold Fika. It is Wednesday, the 8th of June, or the 10th of May in the 10th year of Chong Guk. So let's begin, as always, with a bow to our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Chariot, Kumbay. Haro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가족 멘세 2. 천일국 주인 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 선자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 2. Our family, the owner of Chongluguk, pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the Heavenly Parent and true parents. We pledge to perfect the dutiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love. I'd like to ask Daniel Meadows if you could offer the opening prayer, please.
Please join me in prayer. Dearest Heavenly Parent, beloved true parents of heaven and earth, we thank you as we gather here together, centering upon you to receive your word. I really pray, Heavenly Parent, that we may be able to really unite together with your heart, with the heart of the true parents. Heavenly Parents, we really want to be able to see the Chonuguk to be achieved in this world during True Mother's lifetime. I really pray, Heavenly Parent, that with that goal and that heart in mind, that we may be able to move forward strongly and really move all the communities that we are a part of, the nations that we exist in, and to move all the people that we meet, Heavenly Parent, to be able to find those John the Baptist figures, to be able to bring many people to come to understand who true parents and Heavenly Parent are. So Heavenly Parent, we really pray for your guidance, for your support, and we really pray that we may be able to bring all things back to you, Heavenly Parent. Bring back all our love and all our heart and all our condition and Jeongsong. We really pray we can offer it all back to you, Heavenly Parent. So we really want to be with you now, and we really invite you to come, for your Holy Spirit to be amongst us now as we receive your words. And we really pray that you bless each brother and sister here today. So thank you so much. We offer our prayer and report in all of our names. In my name, Daniel Chiseru Meadows, the Meadows Plus Central family. Jew.
Thank you, and let's give a warm welcome to Reverend Fika as he shares with us this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, our family members, brothers and sisters, and welcome to our Unsheel message. This morning, I would like to just share about, I will share a little bit on the report. I've already shared in our leaders meeting, but I would like to share it again. And today is the 10th of May by the Heavenly calendar in the 10th year of Chonuguk, and June 8th. So my sharing this morning will based on Father's words, and I will share a brief report and like to also share with us, our blessed families and leaders, our school proposal. So yeah, as I've mentioned, when Susan, our first missionary, shared her testimony last time, that this year is our 40th anniversary, and yeah, Susan visited our shores back in 1982 August 22. That's when she first came, and after staying here for 3 months, she went back and sent Betus here in Solomon. So after Betus came, and I think I know less about our church history, but um, during Betus' time, I think also Mark Buffield and others were also here after him. And in 1992, we have our first member blessed, Antonelli and Uncle Rex. They got blessed. And after that, we have many missionaries that came to Solomon Islands. So Solomon Island has been a country that was so blessed by true parents to also have true parents directly visit Solomon Island way back to 2005. I think most of the elder members came here to prepare the event for the event. So it was a successful event, though there are challenges. And also True Mother and elder son Hyunjin also visit here 2006, a year later. So yeah, that is like just the background information about my presentation. So from that time on, we have grown little by little. The Providence slowly grow through our elder members, and also with the support of our true parents through our missionaries. So yeah, little by little we grow until now. So I took leadership 5 years ago, 2017. So it was not easy, as we all know. Challenges came during the 5-year course, but yeah, I'm really grateful and thankful to all my elders and brothers and sisters who always support our mission here, and all our missionaries. Some of our missionaries still support us. So yeah, that is just a little bit of background. So I would like to read from Father's word from the as a peace-loving global citizen, pages 61 to 63. I won't read all the paragraphs. I will pick some important parts of the Hoon Dok reading from True Father's autobiography. So the topic or the title of the reading is A Key to Unlock a Great Secret. So just as I had climbed all the mountain peaks around my hometown, I explored every corner of Seoul. In those days, there was a streetcar line that ran from one end to the city, one end of the city to another. The price of a ticket was just 5 John, but I didn't want to spend that money and would walk all the way into the center of the city. On hot summer day, I would be dripping with sweat as I walked. And on frigid winter days, I would walk almost at a run, as if easing my way through a bitter Arctic wind. I walked so quickly that I could go from Dong across the Han River to the Hwan Sin department store on Jongro in just 45 minutes. Most people would take an hour and a half, so you can imagine how quickly I was walking. I saved the price of a streetcar ticket and gave the money to people who needed it more than I did. It was such a small amount. It was embarrassing to give it, but I give it with a heart that desires to give a fortune. I give it with a prayer that this money would be a seed for the person to receive many blessings. Yeah, so true Father was talking about his early days in Seoul. So yeah, just reflecting on this Father's word, I don't know much about Seoul area. How far is it between Dong and going across the Han River to Hwansin department? But I think it was quite far. Just by reflecting on how Father talks about it, and so yeah, Father saved money and to give it to people who need it more than him. So yeah, Father, even though that money is quite small, but he said he gave it with a heart that desired to give a fortune to a person. So I think that's kind of heart that your Father have. When he goes anywhere, he often have this kind of heart where he want to go there uh, for the sole purpose to restore people and to um, let people know about Heavenly Parent and know about true parents' husband. So, so Father said at the end, he said, I gave that little money with a prayerful heart, that money will become a seed for that person to receive many blessings. So truly this kind of heart that Father have is really exceptional. And continue our reading. Every April, my family would send me money for tuition, but I couldn't stand by and watch people around me who were in financial difficulty. So the money wouldn't even last to May. Once, when I was on my way to to school, I came across a person who was so sick. He seemed 62. As a peace-loving global citizen about to die, I felt so bad for him. I couldn't pass him by. I carried him on my back to a hospital about a mile and a quarter away. I had the money I intended to use to pay my tuition, so I paid the bill. However, once I paid the hospital, I had nothing left. In the following days, the school repeatedly demanded I pay my tuition. My friends felt sorry for me and took up a collection for me. I can never forget the friends who helped me through that situation. The giving and receiving of help is a relationship that is matched in heaven. You might not realize it at the time, but thinking back later, you may understand. Oh, so that's why God sent me there at that time. So if a person who needs your help suddenly appears before you, you should realize that heaven sent you to that person to help him. Then do your best. If heaven wants you to give the person 10 units of help, it won't do if you only give him 5. If heaven says you give him 10, you should give him 100. When helping someone, you should be ready, if necessary, to empty your wallet. Yeah, so Father is talking about here. Father is talking about a kind of heart that he practiced. Just seeing someone by the road, so sick, as a true parent, he cannot just walk or pass by. So father shared his story that he carried a sick person, old sick person to a hospital. Just imagine a mile and a quarter away from how far. So I just imagine that, father carrying that person and not only carrying him to the hospital, but paying all the bills for him to be able to maybe after that hospital he is healed and well. So father said he never regret those kind of things that he do. So one thing that father taught us here is that when we do such thing, we receive blessing and we receive much higher, blessing reciprocate to us. So he said he don't have money after paying for the hospital bills, but blessing came through his friends. So they make contribution for his tuition fee. So he said we should come to realize that once we met up with someone who is in need, we should realize that God sent us to that person to help him. So Father importantly say that he said that if heaven wants you to give that person 10 units of help, then we should give 10 or even more than 10 units. But if we don't give that 10 units of help, then it won't, Father say it won't do good for that person. Yeah? So also for us, our character. So I think the most important thing is, giving anything without reserve, or helping someone, it can reciprocate in a much bigger way once we do it wholeheartedly. So I think that is one important thing I learned from Father's word this morning. So yeah, I would just now I would just give I've shared a report from last time. So we have workshops in preparation for the blessing last time as April 16. So our goal, we want to bless many people, but unfortunately we only have a couple. Only this couple they could able to join blessing locally here in Solomon Islands. Yeah, so it was through that experience I learned that Satan really worked hard to destroy blessing, or he don't want anything with blessing. So when we are preparing for the blessing, there were a lot of challenges. However, we managed to educate this couple, and finally they could receive the blessing on April 16th, the cosmic blessing. And then our youth also, we have 10 youths in America from 2020. After the outbreak, we had 10 of our youth in America. So we really struggle how to bring them back, and some of them frustrated and they left the ILTP, International Leadership Training Program, and they go out and walk outside. But I fell through this experience with our youth in America. I could really feel how Heavenly Parent and True Parents' heart. As a parent, I also have two of my spiritual children who went to America, but they are the ones who went out from the ILTP program. So it's really a heartbreak to see children going out. So truly this experience uh, taught me about Heavenly Parents' heart. When we left Heavenly Parents, really, Heavenly Parents' heart really broken. So yeah, we finally have two of the sisters graduated from ILTP, and they could safely arrive in Solomon Islands, and they victoriously share their testimony about how difficult it is during the pandemic, but they kept their spirit, and they could also revive the ILTP program because the Reverend Kim in America almost gave up the program because no members were there. But the Solomon brothers and sisters, they went out even during the lockdown, and they do fundraising to sustain the program. And so Reverend Kim could also grant them, give them a certificate as pioneers to revive ILTP. So it was a success. And so now, after their breakthrough, they came back. We have other members who wanting also to come back. So, and then we celebrate the True Parents Holy Wedding in the morning, and then in the afternoon we had the Hyojong Cosmic Blessing Festival. So it was really moving experience to see the couple whom I educate just last minute we said education, but they could accept the blessing. And the sister who this sister was she often she's a center member, or she's a full-time member, but then she went out and then they got married. So when the brother came and learned about the divine principle, he really scolded his wife, why you didn't follow the divine principle. It has many, I mean, all the good things, but why you didn't follow? So yeah, it was a good experience. And then later in April, we had the Women's Federation had their 30th anniversary, commemorate the 30th anniversary of the Women's Fed. And the Women's Fed leader talked about the role of women during that meeting. So they just did they just do this Women's Fed commemorative anniversary for internal members. Not really many guests attend during that time. So it was a successful one with few members. It was still during the COVID time, so not really many members attend the program. And yes, at the end of April, we had our first internal guidance for the year for blessed families. So we have a couple of families came for the internal guidance, which Uncle Rex led the Uncle Rex was the one who organized this internal guidance as an elder couple. So we have a good time together where all the couples who attend, they discuss about what is the role and responsibility of blessed families and how to guide members. So it was a successful meeting, that the internal guidance. And then we had the second one last month, at the end of last month, which was also a fruitful one, where all the participants we divide in groups and share about some intimate questions. We during this internal guidance, we receive a video from, I think, a couple, second-gen couple from America. They talked about parenting, and so it was a really good um, education material that we have. We watched their video talking about the importance of relationship with children. So as a parent, how we can parent our children. So we shared on some intimate questions like what are some obstacles that you faced when talking about intimate topics to your children. So some of the elder members, they have experience as their children are already in their teenagers, so they also share their experience that our culture here in Solomon Island is one of the main barrier that we don't talk much about, like those intimate questions, or we don't share intimate things with our children. But we learned through those two couples, their presentation, that it is very important to communicate with our children and to share, to ask them about some intimate questions about partners or about sexual love and those kind of things. So it was a fruitful meeting. And then we had one day divine principle seminar for youths, and we have 3 pastors attend with 3 youths. So it was a fruitful meeting. We have total of 9 participants who joined the one day divine principle seminar. And then we have on May 15 we celebrate the International Day of Family, which we do it like almost like a family festival, where we have families, they share their items, their special song, and their dances. So it was really a successful event where families, they could also bond together and also share their special song. So everyone comes together in families and they share. So it was a successful event. And then towards the end of last month, we had the 6th online PCLC, which we only have one guest, one of our youth leader, Mr. Wilfred Louis Ramo, who attended our event together with some of our elder couples. So it was a moving event where Dr. Kittel really shared about importance of family. So yeah, the brother who attended the event really moved by Dr. Kittel's presentation about the families. So yeah, that is we're looking forward for this next one. And then we had Blessed Families. Women's Federation hosted a internal program, internal guidance for internal members, and they learn about how to multiply holy items. And Auntie Nelly took initiative together with the Women's Fed leader and national leader wife. So they learn about multiplying the holy wine, channel group wine, and holy candle and holy salt, holy matches. So they was moved. Some of them were in tears as it is their first time ever to come to learn about this how to multiply these channel group items, holy items. So and then the weekend of that week, 28, they have an external kind of a program where they learn how to dye clothes, or how, I don't know what's the English, dyeing clothes. So they learn, they bring women and they learn how to dye clothes. So yeah, and then we have towards the end of the month, last month we had 60th anniversary of the Day of All True Things, which was attended by a few blessed families and blessed children. So it was quite a beautiful event where our blessed families could bond together also and celebrate together the Day of All True Things and the founding of our movement. And so our victory for Solomon Island, as I've said, our blessed couple who got blessed during the April 16 blessing could manage to complete the 3-day ceremony. So it was a victory for us. They went through the 40-day separation and it was quite moving because the brother patient all throughout the event, all throughout the whole 40 days, and they successfully completed the 40-day separation and 3-day ceremony. So also our church also during this time also I felt so much relief as our blessed children are taking a lead in our Sunday service, leading Sunday worship and arranging everything for Sunday service, which really prepare always the environment for our Sunday services. So I'm also grateful to our blessed children. They really take lead in taking ownership of improving the Sunday service. So I'm grateful to them. Yeah. So and one of our victories through the Divine Principle Workshop, we have Pastor Fred from Anglican Church, and he he is now he have his own denomination now. So he also was so moved by the lectures given during the one-day Divine Principle lecture. So I gave lecture on Dr. Kittle's APLC lectures on why do we need universal principles and a dual purpose principle and test system principle and the root of suffering and human conflict. So it was he was so moved and he want to share this. He said we should do partnership to share this message to our youth. So he visit us on the previous Saturday, and we have talked, and then finally he wants to know more about Father, so I gave him autobiography and the divine principle. So he says, let's do more partnership and share this good message to our youth before it's too late. So yeah, that is one of our victory here. So this concludes my report. Before I finish, I would like to just shortly go through the school proposal for the proposal for the school. So we we have a school here in Solomon Islands. Might everyone tired of hearing about the school, but yeah, it is the pride of true parents here in Solomon Island, the school. So yeah, the New Hope Academy here is the school owned by our church and is now currently registered under Honiara City Council. So it was quite a relief for the church in terms of supporting teachers financially. We the school is now under the Honiara City Education Authority, so it was they are supporting, the government is supporting teachers for their salaries and stuff. So we want to improve this school for the purpose of supporting True Mother's goal and vision of 2027, to restore 1/3 of world's population through witnessing. So the New Academy is one of our tools of witnessing here in Solomon Islands. So we have planned that by 2026, we want to have our own education authority, the FFWPU Education Authority. So that is what we want to achieve. So it was quite a big dream, but if there is a will, there's always a way, as Dr. Young always said. Yeah, so if it is Heavenly Parents' will, then there's always a way out. So in order to have the authority, we need to have several schools in order to have an education authority. So yeah, Solomon Island is as a nation is a developing country with a very high population, a youth population. So that's why education is one of the need that the government is trying to look at and improve how to educate our youth, because we are now experiencing a lot of problems with our youth because they are uneducated and most of them don't have work. So it is quite a need for the government. So as you can see in the statistic research that the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development have made, and so the research shows that in every year there needs to be a classroom built, or even more than 300 classrooms built every year to accommodate new students each year. So it was quite a big demand for education here in Solomon Island. So FFWPU is taking lead also to not only give education to our youth here in this nation, but to have quality education and also character education in the schools. So the purpose why we want to do this is for us to witness to the people, the parents, and also the students at their early age. So currently we have how to say an elementary school, grade 1 to 6, and we have also early childhood education. So we already have these two division. We planning to expand to junior high school and also senior high school. So we applied for junior high this year, but was unsuccessful. But our dream by next year we should have a junior high school. So as I've said earlier, the school is now under Honiara City Education Authority and is benefiting from the government annual grant and also the teachers' salary. So it was, as I've said, quite relief for us. So the proposal that we want to make is the Family Federation, aim to establish an education authority. However, we need, in order to take this initiative to this level, we need a suitable area for this kind of plan. So our plan is not only just to high school, but up to university and having our own university and also our own vocational schools and those kind of things. And so we met up with some landowners and we have discussion with them. And so this is the current school, New Hope Academy, the primary division or the elementary division. So the area is quite small. With this area, we cannot move further. So that's why we need a bigger space for the New Hope Academy. So we have talked with some landowners and they have this area. It's a 54-acre land that they selling. So we want to acquire that place for the expansion of our school and also to establish technical and vocational schools and set up income generating project. And more importantly is the Blessed Families Cemetery. So those are our plans. So you might ask why I put this picture here. This is my spiritual father during true father's visit, true parents visit in Solomon Islands. So he went to Spirit World 2012, and it is a sad story. He was buried in the public cemetery, and just recently I went there to try and look for his grave, but couldn't find his grave. Some people already dug up the ground and make a new grave. So yeah, it was our grave site here is our cemetery is already small and people are digging up again the old graves to bury the people. So that's why we need a space for our Blessed Family Cemetery. And also one of our blessed member who passed away 3 years ago, he was buried in a Seventh-day Adventist cemetery. So we want to have our own cemetery to have blessed couples buried there. So these are our future plans. So when looking at the school as one of the witnessing tool, already we have our teachers already joined our previous blessing. So during this HTM blessing we had for teachers and parents 2019, we have 4 teachers that joined this blessing, and we also have some parents who also joined this blessing. So looking at why the school is important for as a tool for witnessing, we can see here that yeah, these are the parents who attend the blessing, and these are the teachers 1, 2, 3, and 4. So our school, we introduced that before you went for teaching, you need to go through the divine principle teaching. So that is the very important thing about um, the school as a tool for witnessing. So this couple here is a couple that took care of Bertus when he came to Solomon Island. This couple is a couple who took care of him. He shared the story when Bertus came. It was, quite funny, but you can see how the spirit world is guiding Bertus to find this wonderful couple to take care of him during his stay here. So he met Reverend Bertus beside the ocean, the beach. Reverend Bertus was after I think he arrived, he went to the beach and just sit there, not knowing where to go, and then he finally met him, and then he took him in their home, and Reverend Bertus stay with them most of his time here. And Reverend Bertus also named one of his one of their son after him. So it was a quite good experience. Some of our teachers also and parents also joined with us during our Chongbo special events. So truly we can see that the New Hope Academy is not just a school. We are not just providing school, but we are also witnessing to our teachers and also our parents. So it is truly a good tool for witnessing. So 2021 we had early 2021 we had this couple, our teachers, our teacher, they got blessings. So yes, let's we want to do our best to also educate more and more of our teachers about the divine, about true parents, and also to bring them to the blessing. So yeah. Yeah, so also in the school we have Mondays and Fridays. Auntie Selina, Women's Fed Leader, she is currently teaching at the New Hope Academy. So she gave direct divine principle to the children from age 6 and up. So we at the early age we are also educating them about divine principle. So it is a pilot project. She tried out last year and it was quite successful, and other teachers also could learn through Auntie Selina's presentation about the divine principle. So yeah, I want to play this short movie. This is quite interesting. Some of True Parents literatures were also in the school, and so I would like to just shortly play this video. So yeah, it was really moving. Not the school is introducing now to parents lectures, not lectures but literature into the school. So the Crown of Glory became a slogan for the school. So they recite that poem, Crown of Glory, really well. So I would like to conclude now with the part of Hoon Dok from Father. Father said, behind Myung Suday is Mount Soldol, also known as Mount Doma. I would often climb up on a large boulder on my Mount Doma and spend the night in prayer, in hot weather and in cold. I immersed myself in prayer without missing a night. Once I entered into prayer, I would weep and my nose would start to run. I would pray for hours over words I had received from God. These words were like code messages, and I felt I needed to immerse myself even more deeply in prayer. Thinking back on it now, I realized that even then, God had placed in my hands the key that unlocked the door to the secret. However, I wasn't able to open the door because my prayers were insufficient. I was so preoccupied that when I ate my meals, it didn't feel as though I were eating at bedtime. I would close my eyes, but I couldn't fall asleep. So, Father, here, even the Messiah, he said that his prayers were insufficient. So, yeah, just um, reflecting on this Father's words. Truly, Father, um, even though he's a Messiah, he really um, immersed himself in deep prayers to unlock the secrets of heaven. So, um, for us, we should be very grateful to our true parents for unlocking the secrets that are changing hearts and are changing people for better and nations, as we can see. So the last slide here is quite long, but here Father is giving his gratitude um, to all the people who supported him during his life in Seoul. So she offered his gratitude to people for whatever little thing they offered to him during his stay. People like Miss Song, who supported him, who brought him, very small things, uh, piece of bread, 2 pieces of bread. But Father said, how grateful I felt. This was just 1 joule a piece and only 4 joule in total. But I have never been able to uh, forget the gratitude I felt in that moment. So I always remember when someone helped me, no matter how small it may be. Even now that I am 90 years old, I can recite from memory all the times that people helped me and what they did for me. I can never forget the people who did not hesitate to put themselves to great trouble on my behalf and generously gave me their blessing. If I receive a favor, it is important to me that I repay it. If I cannot meet the person who did it for me, this for me, it is important for me to remember that person in my heart. I need to live with the sincere thought that I will repay the person by helping someone else. So this concludes my presentation. Also, just reflecting on how the providence developed here during these 40 years. We've went through a lot of things, and along the way, a lot of people did or done something in order, or people are sacrificed in order for Solomon Island Providence to develop this far. So as Father offered his gratitude, we might not be able to repay you, but through helping our children here through education and educating our people here, we can also appease some of our missionaries and even more especially our true parents heart. So I would like to conclude here. Sorry, I went beyond time.
Yeah.
But I believe we've learned something from True Father's words, True Parents' words, and also the little report and proposal I shared. Once again, I would like to thank Reverend Fika for this opportunity and all our leaders and our elder blessed families. Kamsahamnida.
Yep, Samnida, thank you, Reverend Fika, for sharing with us and helping us to understand what's happening in the Solomon Islands and yeah, your heart and desire and love to really support them. We are run out of time, and but before we close up, I just want to let people know about Mrs. Yu. Mrs. Yu is joining her husband in Canada, and so will be leaving our region and going there, and she'll be going to work together with him, and her children will remain in Australia. And today she is going. And I can see that she is here, and like to us to offer her our heart and gratitude for her time here in Australia, and really supporting the members, and wish her well in Canada, and that we will look after her children here. So let's give her a round of applause. Okay. I'd like to ask Reverend Yutaka to say some words. And
Okay, thank you very much. Arnold, you are sharing, we learn well, and here you have to support together. And also Mrs. Yu and Reverend Yu really invested a lot about Oceania area and Vanuatu, Australia, many missions. And now he went to Canada already long time ago. And today Mrs. Yu will go to Canada. So anyway, even our mission area is different, but we can remember always our leaders' investment and heart, and even place is different, but we live together as the family. So please pray for this Reverend Yu, Mrs. Yu's couple, because all children will stay in Australia. Only parents go to Canada for mission. So we have to support as the community. And let's really pray and success well together. So really thank you, Mrs. Yu, and our all brothers and sisters support. Thank you.
thank you, Yutaka. And if Mrs. Yu, if you're there, you'd like to make some comment, that would be great. That's okay. We are well over time, and we can reserve our comments for tomorrow, I'm sure, and then write down anything that we want to share, but let's keep it for tomorrow. I'll just share the screen, and we can end with unison prayer. Thank you. Let's pray together. Aju, Aju, Aju. Thank you, everyone, and may Heavenly Parents' blessings be with you all, and see you all tomorrow, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle John.
Thanks, Arnold.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arnold.
Thank you, Arnold.
Thank you, Arnold.
Benji.
Thank you so much.
Arnold. Thank you. Great testimony.
God bless everyone. Have a lovely day.
Yeah.